G'day there. You're watching the Aussie BIM Guru. For those that have been wondering where I've been the last couple of weeks, I just needed a break, I'll be honest. My consulting has been really busy. Got a few things going on, some good exciting announcements on the way probably as well. Not related to the channel, but just related to what I get up to, so keep an eye on my LinkedIn. But anyway, I thought I'd come back just because there's a topic I really want to share. In this case, I've been using a tool lately that I've really enjoyed. To be honest, it's probably got me about as excited as I was about Dynamo when I first came across it. And this is called Speckle, which is an open source system or platform, you might call it, for the AEC industry, which allows us to move data between many different platforms that we use on a day-to-day basis. So for example, Revit, Dynamo, Rhino, Grasshopper, but also things like Blender, Civil 3D, AutoCAD, and soon Excel. That's probably why I guess I really got interested in this platform, because I was working with a client and we were using Excel and it wasn't being used efficiently. And I thought, what sort of tools can we use to connect these environments? And Speckle came to mind, and I finally decided to check it out. Wish I'd done it earlier. But anyway, today in the demo, I would have set myself up with Speckle already. So if you want to follow along as well, jump over to their website, create an account, download the manager, which will help you install all the different integrations you need. But I found it was a really intuitive platform to use. So mainly today, I'm just showing you a basic demo of how it works, with the hope that you'll try it out as well and potentially find some use for it in your workflows. Anyway, let's dive in. So I'll keep this demonstration quite short and sweet, but I guess what we're going to aim to do is just send some data to Speckle using Dynamo, and then call on that data in another platform, in this case Grasshopper. Speckle supports heaps of platforms, so I'm just showing you one possible way you could get data between two platforms. For those that follow the channel, you know I use Rhino inside quite a lot, so this is like an interesting alternative to something like that. But just getting data out of Revit into other formats is really the key here. So I've set up a little script in this model that I'm in, and the goal of this script is just to retrieve some room data and send it out to the Speckle server. So in this case, I'm using a node from my custom package called Crumple, which essentially just grabs all my placed rooms, a great way to filter out unplaced rooms, which can cause all sorts of problems. I'm getting the element ID and also just 3 sets of data. In this case, for each room, I'm asking it what's its name, its number, and its area. And then I'm just adding the ID to the front. So essentially, I have a list of structured data in this case. Every object in this list, or every sublist, is representing the data inside a room in a Revit model. Now, these could be handy things to get into other platforms like Excel, or also potentially maybe to manage across different platforms that contain briefing data. I'm actually experimenting with this with a client currently, and they're loving what they see so far. Very exciting. So in this case, I'm just sending my data via Speckle. So this is from the Speckle Dynamo package, which can be installed via the Speckle connector. In this case, I did find that by default, it didn't install into the 2.3 Dynamo folder, sorry, the 2.0.3 Dynamo folder. So what I did have to do was go back one level and go to one of the later builds, for example 2.5, which it installs to, copy the package, and then copy it into the version of Dynamo I was using. It's not off the package manager as well, so be aware of that. But essentially it should give you access to a few nodes such as send and receive. You can also get details about accounts that people are using. If you wish to retrieve an instance of a stream based on an account, so you can use a get stream, but also specify the account that you're getting it from. I found it really interesting that it does actually pretty much have awareness of the accounts that are available. So in this case, it knows that I can call on this account, and I can also specify this stream more specifically from that particular instance of that user's version of Speckle. Essentially what we're doing now is just sending data. So in this case, I already have a stream set up. So back in Speckle, I've already done a new stream, and I've just created this Aussie BIM Guru test stream 1. So I've created this URL automatically, so Speckle does this for me. Currently there's no commits in here, so it's a little bit like GitHub. We're sending commits to the branches of this, or the branch of this particular stream. I'm just going to copy this URL and I'm putting it inside a string. So back here I've just copied that essentially. And now we're pretty much ready to send objects to Speckle. So let's try. So at this point it's going to send the data, done. If I go back to Speckle and I just refresh, we should now see some data in the Speckle server. there's my commit, and here is my data. So I've actually got this data out of Revit into a web-based environment. So I mean, as soon as I saw this the first time, mind blown, love it. Super easy to use and just amazing that we can pass data through these formats. I know they're working on an Excel connector, so that's quite exciting because architects still love using Excel. But if we can more seamlessly connect that data back and forth to our authoring environments, awesome. I'm looking at it for room data sheets, for example, at the moment is one interesting concept we can use this for. But essentially we've now sent this data. Now I've also sent the same data, but also with the Revit element on the front. So I've added the original room because I want to show you that Speckle can actually hold a lot more data than just raw data. So if I go back to Speckle, and I'm just going to go and check out my test stream 2. This one has also had geometry pushed. So if I click on the play button here, check it out. Speckle actually supports native Revit geometry inside Speckle itself. And not only is this like 3D geometry, it's intelligent geometry as well. So if I select this object, I can actually inspect the details of the element. So all that data that I just extracted myself is actually all available here with its level properties, its parameters, with all the properties about them, such as their data type. Now I haven't quite looked into how you can extract this data of the object specifically using more complex calls, but I'm sure it's possible using key value lookups. I don't know if currently the package has the ability to do it just out of the box. I expect this is probably more of a developer thing rather than just using the nodes as they come. There are some dev tools I've seen, so you might be able to potentially work with some of these things, like we might be able to convert to native. But what I wanted to show you is going into another platform and taking that data. So if I go to, say, Rhino and Grasshopper, I'm currently calling on the stream without geometry. I'm calling on my account, so I've installed the Speckle package, so you really do get the same tools essentially on the other side. I'm just going to do a recompute and receive, and look at that, we've got our data. So in another platform via the web with no connection required on the computer between the programs, Speckle essentially bridges data between those two platforms. Now I've noticed also Speckle does allow us to convert geometry in packages. For example, I think in the dev conversion, you can work between native and Speckle object equivalencies. So in this case, I assume you can probably send things like B-reps and meshes into the Speckle environment and then turn them back into their native representation. So it's really exciting, the things that this might open up. For example, I know some firms are essentially using Speckle to work share in Rhino, which is pretty cool. So they're using Speckle to pass changes back and forth between separate instances of a Rhino session to allow people to work together in one environment. So really exciting. Just wanted to show a few applications. Of course, remember that Speckle is supported in a lot of different platforms. So you'll see a lot of different ones here. AutoCAD, Civil 3D, and Blender, obviously really commonly used platforms in our industry, especially Blender coming up. I think that will be really relevant going forward. But really exciting, Excel coming soon. So currently in alpha stage, but once this is out, I'll definitely be doing some more videos on Speckle. This is pretty much why I decided to finally look at Speckle properly, because a lot of architects still use Excel. And this looks like one of, if not the best, ways to connect our platforms with Excel relatively seamlessly, based on what I'm seeing of the alpha project so far. So check it out, and hopefully this little demo has helped showing you, I guess, how Speckle works, and given you the curiosity to explore it as well. So there we go. Hopefully that got you as excited as it did me when I first actually properly tried it out. Again, wish I tried it earlier, but I guess in this case now I'm here and now I can really push it a bit more on some projects I'm working on. Hopefully in future when the Excel integration comes out, I'll look at it again with some more specific use cases, because I definitely can see them, but I feel Excel will definitely unlock a few of them in particular. Anyway, I'll hopefully be around two times a week like normal from now. I just had a really busy period, but I will be aiming, I guess, to at least communicate with the community when I need to drop in and out. But my aim is to be back for a while, so keep an eye on the channel. Anyway, if you're not already following and subscribing, feel free to do so, and I look forward to seeing you in future videos like this one. Thanks. Take care. Bye.